Most people are trying to get rich, but they're stuck on level 1. They keep working harder, hoping it'll get them to the next level, collecting coins, racking up the XP, upgrading the wrong gear. But they never learn how to beat the boss, change the map, or unlock the real power-ups. Why? Because no one ever told them getting rich is a game, and there are rules. And yeah, there's even a few cheat codes. If you ever want to stop playing like a beginner and start playing to win, the first thing you need to do is learn the rules. Most people start playing the money game without ever reading the manual. They're handed a controller and told, go to school, get a job, don't get into too much debt, save a little if you can, retire when you're too old to enjoy life, and that's it. But if you don't understand the rules of the game you're in, it's easy to think you're losing because you're not working hard enough when you're really just not playing strategically. Let me break down the actual rule book. Rule 1, the system rewards strategy, not just hard work. You can work 12-hour days, sacrifice weekends, and give it everything you've got and still feel stuck because the game doesn't reward hustle alone. It rewards people who have a strategy, make intentional decisions, and take action based on the life they want to create, not just the circumstances they're in. What you do and how you do it matters more than hard work and sacrifice. Rule 2, credit isn't a score, it's a tool. Your credit score is one of the most powerful multipliers in the game, but only if you know how to use it. Treat it right, and it can help you access low-interest capital to build wealth. Treat it wrong, and it'll lock you out of opportunities before you even get started. Rule 3, debt can be a trap or a portal. Not all debt is bad, but you have to know the difference. Bad debt equals stuff that loses value or keeps you stuck. Good debt equals strategic leverage for assets that grow or create cash flow. Rule 4, inflation and taxes are silent enemies. They're not flashy like a big boss fight, but they're always lurking in the background, slowly draining your resources. If you're not earning enough to outpace them, you're losing ground. Even if you think you're doing everything right, here's the reality. You can't win a game you don't understand. Every decision you make, what you spend, what you earn, how you borrow, needs to line up with the actual rules of how to build wealth. That's the only way you're going to create financial freedom and reach the level where you get to live the life you've always wanted. In any good game, you get to choose your character. Each one comes with unique strengths, weaknesses, and play styles. And in the money game, your character influences how you earn, grow, and protect your wealth. Let's break it down. First, we have the saver. Careful, calculated, resourceful. Their focus is on preserving what they have, cutting waste, and building security through consistency. They're cautious, grounded, tactical. The saver believes in staying prepared for whatever life throws their way. They don't chase flashy wins. They play the long game, one smart decision at a time. Their primary moves, they track spending like a pro, build an emergency fund before anything else, and avoid high-interest debt like it's lava. The saver's strengths keep them grounded. They're unshakable in a crisis, a master of delayed gratification, highly self-aware and responsible, but they do have a few weaknesses. They can be overly cautious or miss out on growth opportunities. They might struggle with taking calculated risks. Sometimes they get stuck in scarcity mode, even when it's no longer needed. But their superpower, it's discipline. The saver can stay focused and consistent even when everyone else is chasing distractions. Their strength is the quiet power of saying, not yet, when it matters most. So why would you pick this character? Because you want to feel secure, in control, and steady. You're not here for chaos, you're here for confidence. You'd rather build slow and solid than fast and fragile. All right, the second avatar is the builder. This character is creative, hands-on, and ambitious. The builder is a driven, resourceful visionary who is always in motion, turning ideas into income and projects into progress. Whether it's a business, a side hustle, or leveling up their career, builders are all about creation with purpose. Let's talk about the builder's primary moves. The builder starts where they are and builds momentum fast, experiments, pivots, and learns by doing, sees opportunity in everyday problems, invests their time, energy, and skills into long-term assets. When it comes to strengths, the builder is highly motivated and action-oriented, comfortable with risk and uncertainty, and knows how to turn setbacks into stepping stones. But the builder has some weaknesses. They can overwork or burn out, chasing the next goal. They might neglect rest, reflection, or financial stability. Sometimes they build before planning. Hello, chaos. But their superpower, it's momentum. The builder turns energy into action and action into results. Once they get going, it's hard to slow them down. So why would you pick this character? Well, people who choose this character aren't afraid to bet on themselves. They thrive on progress, possibility, and carving their own path, even if they have to build the bridge while they're crossing it or construct a parachute after jumping out of the plane. And then we have the investor. The investor is a long game thinker and is aware of the risks. They know how to make money work for them, whether it's through stocks, real estate, or passive income. The investor is focused, patient, calculated. The investor doesn't just play the game, they study the map. They think in decades, not days, and know that real wealth isn't an instant win. It's about compounding smart choices over time. Their primary moves, they study the systems, stocks, real estate, business equity. They make money work harder than they do. Time their moves with patience and precision. Prioritize assets that grow, pay, or appreciate. Their strengths are a deep understanding of risk versus reward, being a master of delayed gratification and long-term thinking, and emotional stability and strength. As great as their strengths are, they do have a few weaknesses. They can get stuck in analysis paralysis. They might delay taking action until everything is perfect. Sometimes they overlook lifestyle balance in pursuit of future growth. So why would you pick this character? You're in it to win it. Slow, smart, and strategic. You don't just want income, you want ownership. You're building a future where your money never stops working. And their superpower? Leverage. The investor uses time, money, and strategy to multiply results without multiplying effort. And no game would be complete unless we had a hybrid class. Enter the strategist. And this is the custom build, a character who blends elements of all three: smart saving, building with purpose, and investing for the future. The strategist is intentional, adaptive, and driven by a vision that they want for their life. The strategist doesn't just follow one path, they build their own. They're part saver, part builder, part investor. But what sets them apart is how they combine it all with clarity, timing, and purpose. The strategist's primary moves gives them an advantage over the other characters. They align their financial decisions with long-term life goals. They blend saving, building, and investing into one cohesive plan. They optimize every move for efficiency and meaning. They adjust their course based on strategic moves that align with where they want to end up. The strengths of the strategist are unique. They are a big picture thinker with grounded execution, excellent at connecting dots and timing opportunities, able to balance risk and reward with clarity and calm. But even though this character seems to be invincible, they do have a few weaknesses. They might overplan and hesitate to act. They can struggle with perfectionism or indecision, and sometimes they forget to celebrate wins while optimizing for the next goal. But their superpower? It's integration. The strategist combines multiple strengths into a custom plan that aligns with their vision and evolves with them over time. So why would you pick this character? Well, you're not here to hustle aimlessly. You're here to design a life that feels like yours, on your terms, at your pace, with a strategy that actually fits who you are. The truth is, you don't have to pick just one and stick with it forever. You might start as a saver, grow into a builder, and eventually evolve into a strategist. The key is to know your playing style right now and be open to leveling up as the game changes. Now, welcome to the part of the game where most players just rage quit. Every good game has a boss battle, but the wealth game, the biggest enemies aren't out there. They're in here, in your habits, your beliefs, and your mindset. These are the hidden bosses that keep people stuck, no matter how much money they make or how smart they are. So let's unmask them one at a time. Boss number one, lifestyle creep. You beat the level, got the raise, made more money, but somehow you're still broke. Why? Because your spending leveled up with your income. New gear, more accessories, better sustenance, more mod packs. And now your more feels like not enough. Lifestyle creep has its weaknesses. You just have to know how to beat it. To do that, you need to build your lifestyle intentionally, not emotionally. Create a plan that reflects your values, not your impulses. Before you enter the purchase screen, stop and think about what you really want out of this game and if that purchase aligns with your goals. Boss number two, self-doubt and comparison. You start to make progress and then the inner voice shows up. Who do you think you are? You're too late. Everyone else is much further ahead. This boss is a tough one because even after you beat it, somehow it manages to sneak up on you when you least expect it. It seems like you're constantly fighting this boss through many levels of the game. But the strategy for beating it is the same every time. And trust me, it gets easier eventually. You have to silence the noise. Remember, your timeline is yours and yours alone. You're not behind. You're playing the game at your own pace and in the way that is best suited to your style, your goals. You need to stay focused on your level, your path, and your growth. The only real competition is who you were yesterday. Boss number three enters the arena. Money beliefs that sabotage your wins. These are the old scripts you picked up without realizing it. Money is evil. Rich people are greedy. I'm just not good with money. Those beliefs will run quietly in the background until you try to level up. They kick in and pull you back down. And the worst part about these money beliefs is just when you think you've knocked them all out, new ones that you weren't even aware of show up. It seems like every time you level up, some new belief creeps in trying to sabotage your progress. But all hope is not lost. Like every nasty boss, there's a strategy for beating this one as well. You have to challenge your programming. All those little things that you've seen and heard throughout your lifetime are someone else's reality. You need to replace those limiting beliefs with ones that reflect the life you want to live, not the fears you were taught to carry. Here's a few thoughts about beating the bosses, because these are just a few of them that you're going to face. It's very likely that new bosses will pop up unexpectedly and old ones will reappear. You don't need more money to beat these bosses. You need awareness, intention, and tools to shift your behavior when those patterns show up. Most players stay stuck because they don't even know they're in a boss battle. But once you're aware, you just have to find the right tools, the right keys, the right strategies to overcome the boss and keep leveling up. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Oh, I see you've reached the moment where you're ready to yell, just give me the damn cheat codes already. I'm over this level. No problem. I got you. And don't worry, there's no controller gymnastics required. Here's the first cheat code, and this is the most elaborate and the most valuable one of the game. Automate your wins. You see, here's the thing about elite players. They don't just rely on motivation. They build systems that keep winning, even when they're tired, distracted, or dealing with life. Let's go over some of the upgrades that drop into your inventory when you activate the automation cheat code. First of all is autosave. This is automatic transfers to your savings account right when your paycheck hits. This makes saving the default, not the afterthought. Auto investments. This uses tools like IRAs or brokerage accounts with automatic contributions. Even small, regular investments grow over time without needing constant attention. You're basically leveling up while AFK, away from the keyboard. Auto budget. This uses apps or bankrolls that categorize spending, sends alerts, and tracks your progress for you. Once your money has a job, it's harder to waste it on stuff that doesn't align with your goals. This cheat code works amazingly well because willpower fades. Life gets busy, but systems, automations, they keep going without you needing to do anything except maybe check in on them once in a while. This is the ultimate cheat code because when your wealth building habits run in the background, you free up your time and energy for bigger moves, the kind that really change your life, because real players don't hustle harder, they build better systems. But I got a couple more cheat codes for you. Next is the vision cheat code. When the level gets hard, and it will, most people quit, but you have a clear vision of the life you're building, well, then you stop reacting and start strategizing. Every move has a purpose. Every sacrifice feels like progress. The clearer the vision, the easier it is to say no to distractions and yes to the long game. And now cheat code number 3 is to reuse the same wins over and over again. Once you figure out what works, reuse it. If you made a budget that actually stuck, copy the structure for other areas. If you built one solid income stream, build another the same way. You don't have to reinvent the strategy every time. If something worked, do it again. Duplicate the habits that got you results. In this game, repeating a win is just as powerful as finding a new one. Repetition isn't boring. It's how you master the level. Now let's talk about the bonus level. Here's the truth most people never hear. You don't have to play the game the way it's been handed to you. All those systems, all those rules, they're a framework, but they're not the finish line. Once you understand how the game works, you get to start modding it. Just like in real games, this is the level where you stop asking, am I doing it right? And start asking, is this actually what I want? Because real wealth isn't about hitting a number. It's about building a life that feels like freedom on your terms. Here's what creating your own game might look like. Choosing to work part-time and do what you want in your free time because peace matters more than hustle. Retiring early, late, or never because you get to define when you're done with work or if you never stop working. Earning just enough to travel, give generously, or support your family because that is your condition for winning. And I want to be perfectly clear here. This level matters. It's an important part of the whole game. The whole point of learning the rules, mastering your character, and beating the bosses is so you can build a game that feels like it's yours, not someone else's version of being rich, not a highlight reel on social media, yours. And that's how you stop playing like a beginner and start playing to win. Getting rich really is a game. And if you've made it this far, you're not here to stay stuck on level 1. You're ready to play smarter. You're ready to play your way. And most of all, you're ready to win. But here's the thing most players don't see coming. Right when you start leveling up, something pushes you back. Suddenly, you sabotage your progress. You shrink your goals. You fall back in old patterns. Not because you're not ready, but because you've hit an invisible barrier. And there's only one way around that barrier. Watch this video next to find out how you can do that.